Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks, and I helped somebody, or I hope I helped them today with this Barber clock, and it came out really good for engraving. There's a few things I would still clear up, but the comb is probably the least, to me, acceptable. So we're gonna, and you could probably do this a lot of different ways. I'm gonna hit the plus key on the keyboard. I'm gonna nudge it over so I have another copy. It is clear and all the background's gone. But what we're going to do, we're going to cut out this comb and just build a new one. So left click, right click, and you've got your outline. And then what you need to do is stop the Smart Fill tool from leaking. So we're going to take a 2-point line and we're going to go from about there to there. So you need to think about all the avenues that the Smart Fill tool could leak to. And we'll get a line from like there to there. Just kind of make sure you go from node to node to make sure you get it all. And there's some stuff up in here we can do, and you got to think about it. The Smart Fill tool is going to come in here, but it's going to come, well, really it's cut a lot, but it's going to make that black when we fill it in. So let's get the 2-point line and just go across there. We're actually going to have to go all the way across here. Now let's try the Smart Fill tool and see if it works. Take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. It worked. We're going to nudge it over. Now we still have these lines here that's going to stop it. And I'm pretty confident we do it, so I'm going to take the virtual segment delete key and I'm going to delete that part of the comb and that part of the comb and that part of the comb. And we could always go back and look at that later and see what we're going to do. But we need to redraw this comb. I'm not going to, and there's probably 10 different ways you could draw a comb. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my parallel dimension tool. I'm going to find out how long this comb is, roughly. It is 2.57 inches. So I'm going to make a rectangle 2.57 inches. About the same thickness of that. And if you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 20 teeth. So we're going to make the teeth now. We're going to take a rectangle tool, put one right on the corner. Don't go all the way down. We're going to grab our rectangle. We're going to go object, convert it to a curve. We're going to take our shape tool and we're going to bring in the nodes and make the teeth a little more pointed. You don't want them real close together, but because I've made it pretty big now, we can do that. And then if you think about it, we're at 2.57. I'm going to change my nudge factor to 2.57. I'm going to take this one and Control D and make a duplicate and move it over. Now I'm a little bit off because it's going from edge to edge, but we can move that holding down the control button so it'll move in the same deal. We can actually, for a second, we can move our rectangle all the way. We're going to grab we've already got 2, so we need 18, so we're going to go Effects, Blend, and we're going to blend it 18 times and see how that looks. That looks pretty good. We could maybe add another one in there, but it doesn't really matter. Then what I would do is take our box back up. I went down, back up, and a couple of ways you can look at it depending on what you're really looking at. If you want, which one, we need this to be the brush. So I'm going to kind of maybe think about moving that box, or not moving that box, but squishing that box down. Now we could be able, or should, well, this is a blend, let's remember, so let's go to Object, break the blend apart, and then grab the inner ones and go to Object and ungroup it. Then we should be able to, these are all entities, we should be able to weld it. Voila. Now, we've got a rounded corner on that one. We can take the Shape tool and select that and go open the Docker window, Docker's corners, and we're going to, let's say a 2-inch corner. See what that looks like. Let's grab it again and go like maybe a 0.5. I can't believe it doesn't. 0.2. There we go. I just forgot how big I was drawing it in. Now, if we will take this and kind of rotate it, and I could have played with the angle of the brush, but put it right on top of there, maybe a little bit more of an angle. And then what's so good about it, since we're nudging, we can nudge it. Well, I might have nudged the move. Let's see what our nudge is at. Yeah, remember I moved it. So I think we had our nudge at 13. We'll try that. And it worked. And now all we have to do is delete some of these other lines that are going to kind of get in our way. And it all depends on what you want it to look like. Virtual segment delete key, and let's delete that line. We can delete that line. Somehow we need to connect this line to one of them. I had something move, so I'm going to jump it back just in case I was messing up. See, we can't, that's part of the scissor. So we really need that part of the scissor. So what we can do is take the shape tool and bring this line. Let's get rid of that node. Get rid of that node, and we can actually just bring that scissor into there. Virtual segment delete key, and delete that. You know what? I'm going to delete my other line and just let that be the brush. I really like my radius, but that'll work. And then we need to look at the other side, and what I would do, I would want all this part of it. So I'm going to take and cut that off. That shouldn't affect it. Maybe cut off the inside of the other one. So the line's kind of going, I don't know 100% sure if that's going to work right now. But we will only find out when we use the Smart Fill tool. We could actually bring these two lines in with the shape tool. Matter of fact, we could get rid of this other line that we drew earlier. And we could take that line and bring it into that line. I'd go ahead and bring that node into there. Maybe come around this way. And then we need to do the same thing up here with the lines. We got a little extra line right there. Let's see how that looks with the Smart Fill tool. There's our brush. That looks pretty good. Now, it would all depend whether you're going to cut this out or engrave this. If you're going to engrave it, we're done. But if you're not, we need to make this brush, this comb better. So let's left click, right click in red, and let's just see what we can do to make, we could probably cut this out, cut that line out, because we want it to kind of flow. We could actually probably cut that line out, because if you're going to cut this, you wouldn't want, this double cut. That'll work for a cut. But the other way would have worked for engraving. We got a little close there. Let's get the tool and move this down. You know what? We got an extra node there. Let's delete it. Delete it. Delete it. And then we can bring this brush stroke down. Take the virtual segment delete key and delete these. And we really need to do something about this. So what we're going to do is just open that up, cut out these lines, open this up, cut out those lines, and I think we're good to go. Let's see how it looks when we Smart Fill it. Take your Smart Fill tool, voila, look at that. That looks really good, and if you look at the teeth, that would, if you wanted to cut it out, and see by Smart Filling, now it's all solid, so we could left click, right click in red, and that would cut out. I really like it. Let's Smart Fill it with something other than black and just see what it looks like. And of course, we've lost some of his hair, but you could add more detail You know, you could spin these around, clean it up a little bit, especially if you're going to cut. You know, it's like a two nodes playing around with each other and just kind of make it smoother. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.